Hi, the Tyke from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another tape to play for you. Today tape is Dennis the Menace, My Favorite Stories, Beauty and the Beast for 1994. So let's get started.
Beauty and the Beast. There was once a very rich merchant who had three lovely daughters. But the youngest, she was the most beautiful of all. From the day she was born, all the household called her Beauty, and the name stayed with her even as she grew into womanhood. Though her sisters were pretty too, they were bad-tempered, greedy, and lazy young women. The merchant cared very much for all his children, but his youngest daughter was his pride and joy. While the older sisters thought of nothing but their fine clothes and the glittering balls and celebrations they would attend, Beauty preferred to stay at home and read, play her piano, and take care of her father's needs.
Father, I've made you some tea.
Thank you, my dearest child. You are such a comfort to me.
You look so pale and unhappy today. What's wrong?
Oh, I am ruined, Beauty. I didn't know how to tell you and your sisters, but we have lost all of our money, and now we'll be forced to move into a little cottage outside of town.
Oh, Father, what an awful disappointment for you. But don't worry. We'll all work together and everything will turn out fine. You'll see.
But the two older daughters were angry at having become poor. They sat in their rooms and sulked all day and expected Beauty to wait on them as if she were a slave girl. One day, the merchant got word that two of his ships that he thought had sunk with the rest of his fleet had limped into port. Thinking he might be able to recover some of his fortune, he decided to make a long trip to the old harbor where the ships were docked and see what cargo was still left. Before he left, he asked each of his daughters what gifts they would like for him to bring back to them.
I want new clothes. I'm so sick of these rags I've been forced to wear all these months. Get them trimmed in gold beads and lace, Daddy.
I want new pearls and a ruby ring and a sapphire bracelet.
I'll do the best I can, girls. Remember, I'm not sure if these ships have anything of value left on them.
They better have.
Beauty, you haven't told me what you want yet.
There aren't any roses in our garden. Will you bring me a rose?
Will you bring me a rose, Father?
Ooh, just a rose for me, Father.
If a rose is what you want, Beauty, then that is what you will have.
The merchant set off with high hopes of recovering his losses. He traveled for weeks and weeks, and when he finally got to the harbor, he found nothing of value in either of the two ships. He turned around and started back home. The weather turned cold and windy. The leaves on the trees died and fell to the ground. Snow began to fall. One night, as the merchant trudged along on the back of his old horse, he saw a light burning in the window of a distant castle. He was so tired, cold, and hungry that he thought he'd stop there and ask the lord of the manor for something to eat and a room where he could spend the night.
This is a very fine castle. I hope the lord of it won't mind if I just put my horse in his stables and give him a little hay and oats to eat.
The merchant took care of his horse and walked up to the entrance of the palace and knocked. No one answered, so he pushed the door open and stepped inside.
Hello? Is there anyone here? Hello? Oh, that's strange. There's a roaring fire in the fireplace, and the dining room table is set for one person. I'll just sit down and wait for a few minutes until someone comes.
An hour passed, and the merchant did not see a living soul. He finally became so hungry that he went ahead and ate the food that was laid out on the table. When he was finished eating, he got up and began to look around. He opened the door, and inside was a big, comfortable bed. He couldn't resist lying down on it, and when he did, he fell fast asleep. In the morning, he woke up to find his wet, tattered clothes gone, and in their place, expensive new ones laid out on the bed.
Oh, well, it's truly a kind and generous lord who owns this castle. I hope I'll be able to see him and thank him before I leave.
The merchant dressed and walked outside to get his horse. He passed through a magical garden on his way. Though it was the middle of winter, everything in this garden was blooming. He remembered the gift he promised to Beauty and reached up and picked 4 beautiful red roses.
You dare to steal from me?
The merchant turned to see a hideously ugly beast dressed in fine gentleman's clothing.
I offer you my house, fine food, and a comfortable bed, and you steal my roses, which I value more than anything I own. Oh, I'm so sorry, my lord. Don't try to flatter me by calling me lord. I am no lord. I'm a beast, as you can clearly see, and a beast who will not be stolen from. I will kill you for taking my roses. Oh, please. I gathered these for one of my daughters at home. Don't kill me. You have daughters? Well, then, go home and send one of them to me in your place, and she'll die instead. I will expect you or your daughter, whichever you choose, to be back here in 3 months.
The merchant went home and told his daughters all that had happened. Beauty's older sisters blamed her for asking for the roses in the first place, but Beauty insisted that she would go back to the beast's palace to die in place of her father. Oh, my precious daughter, I am old and haven't many years left to live. I will return to the beast and face my fate. Beauty would not listen to her father's pleas. When the 3 months were up, she sneaked out of the house and went to the beast's castle. Trembling all over, she stood before the ugly beast and said,
I am here to offer my life for my father.
The beast took her into a large, beautiful room. In it were all her favorite things: a vase full of roses, a grand piano, and many pieces of music, and 2 walls filled with books from floor to ceiling. Beauty thought that the beast must not mean to kill her right away. Otherwise, he wouldn't have bothered with all these things. And she was right. The beast did not kill her, but instead fell in love with her and gave her everything she desired, except for her freedom. He would join her every evening at 9 o'clock, and they would talk together, and sometimes she would sing for him. In fact, she was no longer afraid of the beast at all. She even enjoyed and looked forward to his company. Tell me, Beauty, do you think I'm terribly ugly?
I would never lie to you, Beast. You are very ugly, but you are also very kind and have a gentle, dear heart. There's many a monster who wears the form of a man. Rather than this, it is better to have the heart of a man and the form of a monster.
Beauty, will you marry me?
No, Beast, I love you as a friend, and I'll never feel anything more.
As time passed, Beauty became very homesick. She missed her dear father almost more than she could bear. Finally, she asked the beast to allow her to go home to visit him. Yes, Beauty, you may go. I could never deny you anything. Put this ring on your finger before you go to sleep tonight, and you'll wake up tomorrow morning in your father's cottage. But you must return to me in 7 days, or I will die of longing for you. Keep the ring with you, and use it to return. So Beauty woke up the next morning in her old bedroom at her father's house. She rushed downstairs and found her father sitting in a chair by the fireplace. He had gotten very pale and weak. He was hardly able to lift his head up to see her. I thought you were dead, my darling girl.
No, Father, he spared me. But where are my sisters? And why are you so sick?
Oh, your sisters have married wealthy men. I told them not to do it, that these men were wicked and heartless, but they wouldn't listen to me. Now they hate their husbands and are miserable. And from the day you left, I became sick with grief for you. I knew you had gone back to the beast's castle, but when I tried to come to get you, he barred my way. So I came home to die. But now I see you are alive and well, and I feel my strength returning to me just looking at you. So Beauty nursed her father back to health, and as the day came for her to leave, her father begged her to stay just 1 more week. She could not refuse him. As that week came to an end, her father asked her to stay 1 more week, but this time Beauty said no.
Father, I must return. I've been wrong to stay here as long as I have. The beast may be dying even as we speak, and not being with him these last 2 weeks, I found that I miss him and love him very dearly.
So that night, Beauty put on the ring and woke the next morning in the beast's palace. She waited impatiently all day for 9 o'clock to come, but when it did, the beast did not appear. She was frightened now.
Oh, I'll never forgive myself if anything's happened to him.
She searched the castle room by room, but couldn't find him anywhere. Finally, she ran into his garden, and there, under a rose tree, lay the poor beast. Forgetting all about his ugliness, she dropped to her knees and hugged him to her. The beast opened his eyes. You forgot your promise to me, so I have starved myself to death. But I die happy having seen your face just one last time.
Oh, dear beast, please don't die. I love you.
She kissed him on his gruesome face and lowered her head to his chest. And the beast disappeared. But in his place was a handsome prince. Beauty lifted her head, and the tears streamed down her face.
Where is my poor beast? I want him and nobody else.
I am your beast, Beauty. A wicked fairy put a spell on me years ago and changed me into that ugly monster. The only way the curse could be broken was by a beautiful lady who would love me for my heart and not for my looks or talents. And Beauty, you are that lady.
And so Beauty and the prince were married and spent the rest of their days surrounded in love and happiness.
So that was Dennis the Menace, My Favorite Stories, Beauty and the Beast for 1994. If you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a great video. Another video come out real soon.